Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Just Law on IQRA TV. I'm your host Ilyas Bulbul and I'll be with you for the next hour. As our regular viewers are aware, on Just Law we normally discuss an area of law which may be of interest to you, our viewers. And secondly, what we tend to do is, because it's a live show, we'll take your calls live on air and hopefully answer your questions live on air. The kind of matters we're able to deal with range from immigration matters, family matters, personal injury matters, etc. So whatever your questions are relating to English law, please do pick up the phone and give us a call. Inshallah, I should be able to give you at least some advice in relation to the questions that you have and hopefully put your mind at rest. Inshallah, we get a lot of calls on immigration matters, which is fantastic. But as I've said, on this show we should be able to cover most areas of English law. Just a couple of matters before we get going. Obviously it's a live show, so we're not able to take very detailed instructions from you. So if it's the case that we need to speak to you at length, what I will do is I'll ask you to leave your number with the control room and then I will give you a call back and then we can have a more thorough discussion as well. And secondly, as our viewers will appreciate, because it's a live show, we're not able to look at your documents as well. So we're only able to give you advice on what you tell us during the live call. If it's the case that I need to look at your documents again, I'll ask you to leave your number with the control room and I will then give you a call back and we can have a look at the documents and have a more thorough discussion about any issues that you have. Now, as always, we pick a topic which is of interest to you. We have a discussion about that. But as far as the calls are concerned, they're not limited to the topic that we're discussing. Whatever your calls relate to, doesn't have to relate to the matter we're discussing. Do pick up your phone and give us a ring. Now, we've not looked at this topic for a while. We've looked at extension applications in the United Kingdom where there's a spouse here from abroad. We've looked at European applications and what Europeans need to do in the UK in order to get a residence permit, what European family members need to do. But I'm going to look at spouse applications today, but I'll take our first call for the day first. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for calling. What's your question?
जी वो क्वेश्चन पूछना था स्पोर्ट्स अपील के लिए
जी
अगर जो स्पॉन्सर है वो अगर डिसेबल्ड हो, डिसेबिलिटी लिविंग अलाउंस पे हो, जो प्रीवियस डिसेबिलिटी लिविंग अलाउंस होती थी तो कोई कहता था कि उस बंदे को एग्जेम्पशन मिल जाती है
जी,
ये सच है कि नहीं?
जी ठीक है, fantastic जी, thank you for your call. I'll answer that question now. Today what we were going to discuss was spouse applications and the kind of requirements which need to be fulfilled. And what I'll do is I'll answer this question and it's going to be relevant to what we'll be discussing later on as well. Now, the normal financial requirement that someone who is sponsoring a husband or wife to come over from abroad to the UK is that they need to be earning at least £18,600. Now that could be based on somebody's salaried income, it could be self-employment income, and in certain circumstances it could be other income such as rental income, etc. But the starting point always is that the financial requirement that has to be met, the earnings that the sponsor in the UK needs to have is £18,600 per annum. Now what the caller is saying that is there an exemption for disability living allowance? And there is. They don't need to meet that requirement at all. Let me just take the next call and I'll come back to this and we'll discuss it in greater detail. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep. Thank you very much for calling. Gee, fire away. Yep.
I am self-employed and I have a limited company.
I understand.
My question is, for the purpose of a spouse visa, what information do I need to show? Do I need a company income or my salary?
Okay, all right. Now, how do you normally receive your income? Because normally there's two types of income that you will receive. One is it could be by way of dividends, and the other is that you could receive it by way of a salary, or it could be a combination of both.
Right now it's by way of a salary.
Okay,
So,
way of a salary, right. So,
yeah.
so what you would do is, if it's simply by way of a salary, so you would show an income of 18,600. But there are two fundamental differences here, right? The first difference is that if it's a limited company that you own, then the period over which you need to be earning 18,600 is for the duration of the financial year of the company. So, so forget what we normally talk about, you know, submit your last 6 months wage slips and last 6 months bank statements. Just if we leave that to one side, what you look at is your salaried income for the duration of the company's financial year. So it could be 1st of January 2017 to 31st of December 2017. So if that's the case, we'll look at your income for the duration of that year. And your wage slips, your bank statements would have to be submitted for the duration of that year as well. So that's the starting point. The period over which the documents have to be submitted is the financial year of the company. The second is that there are significantly more documents which need to be submitted where you own the companies. Very quickly, I'm just going to run through them. I might miss some. Accounts for the company, your CT600, the company's house registration for the company, the VAT certificate for the company, or a lease for the company. There's a whole host of additional documents which need to be submitted, which aren't normally submitted in a normal standard case. In a standard case, you're submitting your wage slips, bank statements, and an employment letter. Here, the duration is different, and the supporting documents not only relate to the employment but also relate to the company. What I'll do is, during the break, I'll have a look at the list, and after the break, I'll take you through the list there. Then at that stage, thank you for your call. We'll take our next call. Hello, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
जी वालेकुम सलाम जी. Thank you.
जी रिजवान बात कर रहा हूँ.
जी रिजवान भाई जी.
जी मैंने अपनी सिस्टर का वीज़ा अप्लाई किया था, विजिटर वीज़ा.
जी ठीक है जी.
तो उन्होंने रिफ्यूज़ कर दिया था. उन्होंने कहा कि ये जेन्युइन विजिटर नहीं है. तो मैं उन्हें ना अपील में ले गया.
ओके जी.
तो जज ने ना मुझे अपील का राइट दे दिया और अपील चली. तो फर्स्ट ईयर ट्राइब्यूनल ने कहा कि हम सारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स मेट करते हैं. उनके डिसीजन में उन्होंने कहा कि इमिग्रेशन की सारी रिक्वायरमेंट, उन्होंने होम ऑफिस को कहा कि आप गलत हैं, इन्होंने ठीक है कि ये सारी रिक्वायरमेंट करते हैं. लेकिन उन्होंने कहा कि लेकिन अपील उन्होंने रिफ्यूज इसलिए की, कहते हैं कि सिस्टर और ब्रदर के जो बच्चों का जो रिश्ता है ना, इतना कंपेलिंग नहीं है कि जिससे ना ये वो ह्यूमन राइट्स पे हमें अलाउ कर दें. तो मैंने ये एडवाइस लेनी थी कि क्या मैं इसको आगे लेके जाऊं या दोबारा, क्योंकि अब तो जज ने क्लियर कर दिया है कि मेरा राइट है, कि हम राइट हैं और वो मेरी सिस्टर मेट करती है सारा कुछ इमिग्रेशन का. तो मैं दोबारा वीज़ा अप्लाई करूं या मैं आगे लेके जाऊं?
रिजवान भाई, बेस्ट ऑप्शन आपके लिए है कि अपर ट्राइब्यूनल में जाने में कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, बिकॉज इसमें विजिटर अपील्स का जो लॉ है जो वेरी क्लियर है कि इवन दो इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर ने जो आपके सिस्टर के अगेंस्ट जो फाइंडिंग्स किए हैं, जज ने कह दिया कि दे आर रॉन्ग, बट इवन देन उसके पास पावर नहीं है टू अलाउ दी अपील, बिकॉज ये जो अपील्स होती है दे आर ह्यूमन राइट्स अपील्स. सो जो आपने जो कहा ना, द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स एंड ब्रदर्स एंड नेफ्यूज एट्सेट्रा, दे आर नॉट सच कि ह्यूमन राइट्स का वो केस बनता है. So that's why the judges said, look, you do not qualify he can't grant a visa, essentially. Best option आपके लिए कि sister को कहो कि apply again, and with the application आप judge का decision भी डाल दो. And not only that, highlight the parts where the judge has already said कि he has found in your favor कि ये सब ठीक है, or and the judge is satisfied कि these people are genuine visitors. So submit the tribunal decision, highlight the relevant parts, and also write a letter as well explaining कि look, this is what the judge has found, set out the key findings. उसको बता दो कि look, the judge has already made a decision on this. Really, when you look at the case, bear in mind what the judge has said, और इस पे आपको वीज़ा देना चाहिए. ये आपके लिए बेस्ट ऑप्शन है, बिकॉज द सेकंड ऑप्शन जो आपने बात की अपर ट्राइब्यूनल में जाने में, इसमें कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, बिकॉज यू कांट विन इन द अपर ट्राइब्यूनल, बिकॉज एज अ मैटर ऑफ लॉ जज का डिसीजन तो राइट है, मगर आपके पास you've done well, माशाल्लाह, you've got a good finding, from what you say from the tribunal, तो इससे दोबारा अप्लाई करो. It increases your chances of a successful visa. इसमें कोई guarantee नहीं है, but it does certainly increase your chances of getting a visa. जी, thank you very much, Rizwan bhai, for that call. We'll take our next call. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, hi. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm calling from Newcastle.
All right, okay.
And I'm from Bangladesh.
Okay.
I came here, my as a spouse, yeah.
Okay.
And I came here before 2.5 years, and I have extended my visa on the May, and I got another 30 months visa as well.
I understand. Okay.
So what the thing is right now that I want to go to Bangladesh.
Okay, I understand.
And I don't have the enough length in my passport. For that reason, I had to reissue my visa.
Okay.
Reissue my passport.
Okay.
And so what is my question is that do I need to inform the Home Office that I have got a new passport?
Okay. The short answer to your question is you don't need to inform the Home Office at all, because what you will have is the biometric card.
Yes.
And on the biometric card, your details are there.
Yes.
Your name, your date of birth, when you were granted the visa, when the visa will expire, and there's obviously a biometric card number. That is enough for them to know who the visa obviously relates to. You do not need to inform them of a change in your passport details. Now, to be quite honest, even if you change address, etc., there's no need to inform the Home Office of anything. There is, however, a form online which you can complete, and you can give them certain details. But there's absolutely no need to do that. I've never done it. I've never seen anybody who's done it before, and it's never been a problem. So my view is absolutely fine. If you're going back to Bangladesh, there will be no problem at all when you come back with that biometric card. All that will happen when you come back is that the immigration officer at the desk at the airport will simply check that your number on the biometric card matches your details that they have in terms of your name, address and date of birth, and there should be no problems. You've been able to come back into the UK. There's no need to inform them, to be quite honest. So I hope that answers.
So there has no any problem.
100%.
What is my concern is that I have got a new passport. There is a new number, so I don't need to inform them. Yeah.
No, because when they see your passport, they will obviously see straight away that this is a renewed passport. What I would do is, if you've got concerns, my view is carry your old passport with you.
Yeah.
Like they used to do before, staple the passports together.
Okay.
So when you come back to the airport, when you get to the airport, they can see, they can see you were granted a spouse visa, and they can see that old sticker from Bangladesh, and then they can see your card to see you were obviously granted an extension. They can see that the old passport has expired and you've got a new one. So do that, and I can't see any problems whatsoever. I think the easier, more practical way of dealing with this is take both passports with you, come back with both passports. That's going to be the easier way of dealing with this, instead of informing the Home Office and going down that route.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And by this way, there is no any problem. I can go to the Bangladesh and come back in this country.
I would say 100%. Based on this, there is no problem at all. There's no problem at all. Absolutely no problem at all. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for your call. Okay, we'll take our next call. Hello.
हाँ जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर रिजवान बात कर रहा हूँ दोबारा से
जी रिजवान भाई
पहले मेरी ना कॉल दरमियान में हो गई और टीवी पे भी ना देख सका मैं आपका आंसर
राइट
सॉरी आई डू अपोलोजाइज
कोई बात नहीं
मैं थोड़ी सी एक और ऐड करूंगा
जी
उसमें डिटर्मिनेशन है ना उनकी उसमें जज ने कहा कि मेरी सिस्टर है ना वो जेन्युइन विजिटर है और सारे रिक्वायरमेंट्स मेट करती हैं क्लियरली उसने कहा कि मैं रिव्यू नहीं कर सकता ना इमिग्रेशन को तो इसलिए मैं वीजा नहीं अलाउ कर सकता
आई अंडरस्टैंड तो
बाकी अब काइंडली अगर दूसरी एडवाइस भी देने क्योंकि मैं टोटली मिस कर गया हूं टीवी पे भी नहीं सुन सका
जी सर मैं बेसिकली ये कह रहा था कि देयर इज नो पॉइंट अपीलिंग टू द अपर ट्राइब्यूनल देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो पॉइंट बिकॉज़ ये जो लॉ ऑन विजिटर अपील्स एंड ह्यूमन राइट्स जो प्रॉब्लम आपका हुआ था इट्स क्वाइट सेटल्ड कि द जज इजंट अलाउड इन दैट सिचुएशन टू ग्रांट अ वीजा सो जज का डिसीजन ठीक है बट व्हाट यू शुड डू इज आस्क योर सिस्टर टू रीअप्लाई एंड जब वो रीअप्लाई करेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली जो डिसीजन है इमिग्रेशन ट्राइब्यूनल का जो डिसीजन है यू नीड टू पुट दैट डिसीजन इन you need to highlight those sections which are in your favor. Basically, where the judge says, okay,
all the determination is in my favor. He clearly right. say about 4 or 5 points.
Normally, when you go through the decision, normally towards the end, uska jo findings hota hai, findings.
My findings.
In my findings. So, wo section, the key findings that you make, just highlight that. It may be a couple of paragraphs, 3 or 4 paragraphs. Just highlight the key findings. Or the other thing that you can do is ask your sister to submit a covering letter in which she explains, look, I have been to the tribunal and the tribunal's decision is enclosed, and the tribunal has said at paragraph, for example, at paragraph 10, this is what the judges said. At paragraph 11, this is what the judges said in my favor. That's the most you can do. There's no guarantee that they will grant it. They don't have to follow it. But there is, I would say, at least 85–90% chance that the visa will be granted.
Oh, wonderful. And obviously, it's my, my mom is always come and go. My other sister always come and go. My little brother always come and go. So they only stuck with this little one. And obviously, we don't understand why. But obviously, these are the immigration rules. And somehow some things they picked up.
I know. But at the moment, it's becoming very difficult, even for people who've been here.
Even the home that I know he said clearly, but he can't obviously fight it because there's no appeal right under immigration rules. And he said you should apply again, and the judge said, and the determination, he clearly said she met and she's a genuine visitor. And all her family knows that as well. So it should be granted, but I'm not here to decide on immigration law. I'm here only on the human rights
legislation. And this is the problem. It doesn't meet human rights cases ka jo threshold for you to come within the human rights legislation. We just don't meet the threshold. The family life isn't strong enough to bring it within the human rights legislation. Exactly. Just one point, because you've mentioned, and I'm sure you've done this before, aapne jo kaha na ke the family members they've all come before and they've all gone. I'm sure you've done this, but did you include a copy of their passports with the entry and exit stamp?
I did include, and obviously I don't think they look at it properly. I don't know if they got the time because they are really busy apparently. That the immigration, whatever the Home Office person on that day came, he said we only got 15 minutes to make a decision.
This is it.
That was make me surprised what he said in the court, and the judge looked at him as well in a very surprising way. And but the judge said I can't. If I'm, in the determination he clearly said if there's any chance for immigration law involved in here, I would allow this appeal.
Absolutely.
And that's make me a bit happy there that he made that, but obviously I need your advice and support to see what I need to do.
No, definitely reapply. There's no point going to the upper tribunal. Definitely reapply.
And so should I apply like, there's the two, they said it's either apply as a normal or you can expedite it, but you need to pay extra for it.
No, just do a normal application because they may want to check the records with the Home Office about the decision. So I don't think there's any point expediting it. And the second thing, and I'm sure you'll do this properly anyway, is just make sure that everything is resubmitted. Just because it was submitted on the first occasion doesn't mean that we don't need to submit it now because they've seen it already. Look at it as a fresh case as well and make sure that everything is resubmitted, because we don't want them to turn around and say, well,
this is not there.
This is not there. I've seen the tribunal decision, but where's the evidence of income? Where's the evidence of this? So try and make sure you tick every box again as well this time.
Absolutely. So I will highlight the determination and send it with the paperwork. And is any other documents there? Do I need to
obviously
the first documents which we send all is the same, and whatever we give to the tribunal should include with it.
Include that. And for example, you are the sponsor here in the United Kingdom, so you would again, do a letter or a sponsorship declaration reconfirming really that you're able to maintain them, you're able to accommodate them if that's the case, and that you want them to visit as well. And everybody else that you've sponsored before, they've come and gone. Nobody's overstayed. They've come and stayed for a short time and they've gone. So you need to, as a sponsor, be reiterating that as well from your end as well.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, there's no guarantee, but you're in a much better position now than you were the first time round. So hopefully you'll get...
it took us nearly 2 years to fight this case. And, the Home Office 20 times asked the courts to not give us the right of appeal, but the court did give, and that's why we got this first bit right, the way they said we meet the criteria.
Fantastic, fantastic. At least you got there. Eh? It's taken a long time, but you've got there. But I think now that you have a favourable decision, hopefully that will work in your favour.
Inshallah, we'll call it back and I will let you know.
No problem. I think then just one final point is if it's refused again, I think at that stage what you might be better off doing is looking not at an appeal, but looking at a potential judicial review. It's just something to bear in mind for next time. Because there's so much now, hopefully, from what you're saying, and I've not seen the documents, but there's so much in your favour. I think it's going to be difficult for them to find against you or against your sister. And if they do,
the judge clearly said that, and obviously it's not my word, it's the judge, in the commas, he said it in there, that I find that, she met all the immigration rules under the immigration category. She is a genuine visitor, because in the refusal, they said she's not a genuine visitor, which is obviously making me mad at that time. I say, I'm not going to let them go. I'm going to take them to the court.
No, absolutely. I think next time round, what we can look at is, inshallah, it won't be the case that it's refused, but if it is, we can look at a potential challenge, not by an appeal, but by what's called a judicial review. But hopefully, we won't get to looking at that. Hopefully, it'll be granted.
Hopefully, that stage not come and we will get them either. But I will, inshallah, give a call and let you guys know.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you very much for calling. Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll take our next call. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
जी भाई, thank you for calling. जी भाई, what's your question?
जी मुझे पूछना था कि मैंने Tier 1 जनरल पे अप्लाई किया हुआ है
जी. ओके.
तो इट्स बीन मोर देन ईयर नाउ, अभी तक उसका कोई रिप्लाई नहीं आया.
ओके, ऑलराइट.
और अभी वो पेंडिंग में चल रहा है.
जी.
दूसरा कि अभी उससे मुझे प्रॉब्लम ये होने शुरू हो गई है कि मेरे बच्चा जो है, बड़ा बेटा है, वो 17 साल का है और A लेवल में जा रहा है. अभी उसने अप्लाई किया हुआ है, तो यूनिवर्सिटी की प्लेस के लिए अप्लाई किया हुआ. अब वो जो यूनिवर्सिटी प्लेसमेंट के लिए वो उसका स्टेटस ऑब्वियसली मांग रहे हैं कि आपका स्टेटस क्या है.
जी.
इस वक्त तो उसका स्टेटस कोई नहीं है, क्योंकि हम ILR की वेटिंग
जी हैं. आप Tier 1 जनरल में आपने एक्सटेंशन के लिए अप्लाई किया है. आपके कितने साल ILR के लिए आपके 10 साल हो गए हैं या Tier 1?
5 साल के.
ऑलराइट. सो आपने Tier 1 ILR किया है ना
जी,
जनरल में.
जी हाँ.
ऐसी प्रॉब्लम, आपको इंटरव्यू के लिए उसने बुलाया नहीं बुलाया?
जी बुलाया था, इंटरव्यू भी हो गया. ये इंटरव्यू मई में हुआ था.
वो अर्निंग्स के बारे में आपको पूछ रहे थे कि आपकी क्या?
जी, उन्होंने जो कुछ पूछा था मैंने उनको सही सब कुछ बता दिया था, जो उन्होंने फिगर्स
जी. फिर उसने कुछ मांगा आपके पास? कोई फॉर्म्स फिल कराया? ऐसा कुछ किया?
नहीं, कुछ नहीं फिल कराया.
ऑलराइट. वो कितना टाइम हो गया उसका?
वो इंटरव्यू हुए मई में हुआ था. अप्लाई हमने लास्ट ईयर से किया था.
अंडरस्टैंड. कोई इंग्लिश का कोई प्रॉब्लम था? टॉइक का कोई प्रॉब्लम ऐसा कुछ आपका?
जी, इंग्लिश का नहीं.
हाँ, इंग्लिश का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. आई थिंक प्रॉब्लम है कि आपको अभी के लिए तो वेट ही करना पड़ेगा. और तो क्या करें, यू कैन सेंड देम अ लेटर सेइंग कि लोग, कैन यू मेक अ डिसीजन. इन माय एक्सपीरियंस there are some applications which are taking a long time. Tier 1 generals, Tier 1 entrepreneurs and human rights के जो applications हैं, they are all taking about close to 1 year to be decided. Now, all you can do at this stage is write to them and say, look, can you make a decision, or get your MP involved and ask your MP to write to them. But problem is, even if you write to them, there's no guarantee that they will make a quick decision. So even by writing to them, even by telling an MP, nothing comes of it. You sometimes still just have to wait. As far as your child is concerned, all you can do is give them the reference number that their application is pending. They don't have ILR at the moment, and ask them to check with the Home Office if they need to. If you submitted the application through a solicitor, you can ask your solicitor to send a letter confirming that the application is pending. But at the moment, the difficulty is there's nothing else you can do. Now, you are stuck at the moment. A lot of people are in this situation where children are going on to university, and their status is sort of in limbo until the application is decided by the Home Office. They may not qualify for a grant, they may not even be given a place at a university, but all you can do is push the Home Office for a decision, unfortunately. That brings us to the end of the first part of our show. We'll just take a short break and we'll be back in the next few minutes.